Well, good evening, friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is Travis, and I garden here in Zone 7 in Louisville, Kentucky. And this is my weekly garden tour. So it is July 3rd. Hopefully everyone is having a good 4th of July holiday. We were out of work when we got there, so we got to go home really early today. So I'm enjoying a little bit longer holiday. I just wanted to show you up here how much the front landscape has filled in. That silvery purple flower there is Russian sage. And you can see that the limelight hydrangeas here in the front, or across the front of the house, are getting ready to bloom. These will be big white cone-shaped flowers. And I'm also transplanting some lamb's ear big ears over there in that garden, and we'll get there in a second. The spireas are still putting out some color. Some fireworks there in the background. So these limelights here, I've got the same thing started. If you've been following me this season, I'm going to start a hedge across there. But I only found 3 so far, or bought 3 so far this year, and I'll show you those in a minute. But yeah, I'm going to have a hedge right through there, which used to be the big wall of everything that I cut down and cleaned out. Blue Victoria Salvia, and somehow we got a white one in there. But I'm loving the blue, and I want to get more of this blue and put it in around this Russian sage. That's the more airy plant there. Yes, the Russian sage by itself would be just enough, but I really think the two together really makes it more blue. In the middle here, I have a purple fountain grass, and I thought that would be a lot taller, or get a lot taller than that. But I guess I didn't get the right variety or something. This is a white butterfly bush. I need to come out here and cut the spent blooms off, and you can see new blooms are coming. Sorry for my shadow there. Still need to mulch this end of the landscape. Alright, let's walk over here. Now, as I was saying, if you've been following me, or if you haven't been following me, this through here, from From the corner of the fence there all the way down was a solid hedge of trees, brush, privet hedge, you name it. Grapevine was all in here. A solid wall all the way up to the trees. And the second season we were here, I just decided to tackle it myself. Couldn't stand it anymore, so anyway, that was a job. But you can see the remnants of the privet hedge and all the stumps that are still here, but it looks better than it did. Trust me. So this is still a work in progress, and this berm, island, whatever you want to call it, in between our home and our neighbor's home. But we have added some purple butterfly bush in here. This variegated miscanthus grass is looking fantastic. This started out with 2 little pieces in the back, and now that it has more sun out here in front, it has really gone to town and gotten big. But I love the grasses, I love the texture, the movement, and even sound it adds to the garden. Yes, I gotta get in here and either fill this with mulch or do something, but bear with me on that. Hyacinth bean vine is growing very slowly on this trellis. This burgundy shrub here is Wine and Roses Weigela. I have another one over there. Not sure what hydrangea this is. If you know, please let me know in the comments. I need to do some research and figure that out. But it is starting to bloom. Lollipop verbenum. And more butterfly bushes. Annabelle hydrangeas there that have been there 5 years and have not bloomed one time. So this is their last season. If they don't perform this year, they are out. And behind them, I'll get to in a second, is the limelight hydrangea hedge that I was talking about. But we've got some hostas in here. This is bananas and cream daisy. So throughout the past few seasons here, I have dug up and divided pieces of this lamb's ear that I started out with in the back. I did not buy each and every individual plant that you see here. This all started from two chunks in the back, and I've just been dividing and dividing, and I'm putting it all around this edge of this landscape. And you can see I have freshly redefined once again this season the edge here of the flower bed. Here is a little nook of, I can't remember the variety, but it is coral bells or heucheras. I'm really liking the burgundy color next to the lamb's ear. Please excuse the nonsense there in the background. People will think this neighborhood road is a racetrack. Noisy road we live on. Anyway, back to the lamb's ear. I've dug up some more pieces from the back, and I'm going to fill in this little curve here. So when this Wine and Roses Weigela, that burgundy, really fills in, and in the spring, and I think it'll bloom once again later this season, but you can see the color of blooms. Now this was full of blooms this spring, so I think the foliage color and that hot pink color of the blooms will look really nice next to this sea of lamb's ear. That silvery green. Alright guys, so that's what I'm working on right now. Turning you back this way because I forgot to mention the daylilies that I am moving from the back. That one don't look so great. Let me show you one that is bloomed out today. So that is what we're working with, the burgundy and yellow throat. So I'll find a spot in here somewhere for those, but I'm just loving, and I don't know if it's coming out very well on the camera, but if you stand here and look through the lollipop verbena, you got the purple, you see the white, you've got the burgundy of the Weigela, and the silver foliage all together. I love that color palette, color scheme. So in this particular garden for sure, you won't see any bright red or orange or bright yellow. Only yellow here is this one, and it's a pale yellow. So I'm going with those cooler, more pastel colors here in this landscape. Also in here I have, which isn't doing good for some reason, the autumn joycetum, or stone crop, I think is another name for it. I also have that planted throughout. If you can see it amongst all the weeds in here. Alright, so here is the little hedge of limelight hydrangeas. These are the same hydrangeas I have across the front of the house I just showed you. So this is a work in progress too. Whenever I can afford it, I'm going to be adding more limelight hydrangeas and creating a hedge. Now, if I take the hedge all the way down, obviously I will have to move the miscanthus grass there, which is tough as nails. You can cut it all the way down to the ground. You can chop it up like crazy. You're not going to hurt it, at least in my experience anyway. So I can chop that down this fall, divide it, and move it in closer or elsewhere in the garden. Whatever I'm feeling, but I'm really liking the idea of the limelight hedge down through there. And I'm loving this view of everything. Another thing that's gotten bigger is this dogwood here. So that's another reason why I've had to keep moving out for it to look right. This landscape there. That's a pink dogwood. Alright friends, so that is a look at the front yard in early July. Whatever. I'm loving just the foliage color in this area. I said that before, but this autumn joy sedum is doing really well. And I'm starting to think the autumn joy sedum needs as much sun as possible. That's why this one pretty much gets full sun, and the ones that I had under the dogwood that I just showed you that were struggling, they look like the ones in the back under one of our big maples, and they look as bad as those. So it must be the fact that they are under a tree and shade is why they don't look as great as this one. Blue lobelia in the shoe. And this is a different kind of lamb's ear here. It's the skinnier leaf. And then that burgundy color once again with the ajuga. This here was actually a flower my mom got from, I think it was a client or something. It's actually a mum. She didn't even know what it was, but it was like a pinkish purple color. And when she gave it to me, it was like half dead looking. She always gives me flowers like that because she knows that she's not going to remember to water them and take care of them, and she thinks they're in better hands here. So anyway, it was half dead and brown looking, but now I planted it in the ground and it is looking pretty good. So that will be a mum. Hopefully it'll rebloom this fall. Another hydrangea I don't remember the name of or the variety. Got these dahlias here. Like a fuchsia colored dahlia. And again, I leave those in the ground. Technically, you're supposed to dig them up in our zone, but the past several years they have overwintered and come back every year. Some yellow glads that I should have staked up. I think this is incredible, and now it is turning that green color. Purple fountain grass in a container with lobelia, the blue, some euphorbia, diamond frost, and this is Silver Falls Decaundra, which isn't really performing that great. And this is all planted in an old antique wash tub. Nothing much or new going on in this garden, but this here is a butterfly bush and it is starting to put on its blooms. I got this from my neighbor's mom, and she wasn't for sure what color it was going to be. I wasn't either, but I am thrilled that it's going to be a white one. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's not wanting to focus, but we'll try this. So yeah, looking like it's going to be a white butterfly bush, and I love white blooming flowers. So one day, you know how much I rearranged the garden if you've been following me a while. One day this could end up in the back in my moon garden, where all the plants will be white blooming plants. This is a new bloomer for this week. Balsam. This is a plant that my grandma had, and us kids would go out and pinch the blooms after they went to seed, and it would twirl out and the seeds would kind of go everywhere. I don't know. Just one of those things. You remember. Alright friends, I just have about a minute left on my video, and I'm just going to do a quick pan of this garden. Not a whole lot of new stuff going on, except for this white dahlia. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. You guys have a great, wonderful 4th of July.